Hey guys, what's up? Today I got an OU match against BlackSlizer, or Slizor, whatever. And as you can see, he has a Genesect, and I actually looked it up in Bubblepedia, and the event was for Black and White as well, not just Black and White too. So, I guess that makes it legal. I mean, I didn't care either way, but yeah, if Genesect is now legal in Black and White, that changes a lot. I mean, I don't know. People basically use him as a Scizor, except it's fast and it has great special attack, so you can use, Bolt Beam Thrower or Bug Buzz and then U-Turn, but you just don't have that priority, which is... Scizor is still nice. I mean, he's not useless, and again, it is physical, so, Choice Banded Blow Punch still does a shit ton, as you will see later in this battle. So I lead with Gliscor, because I was expecting him to lead with Landorus, and he leads with Genesect, which is fine because I also considered that as a possibility, so I'm going to switch out to Heatran. He's going to go for the Ice Beam. Not going to do much. Oh, well, he does get a crit, so it does actually twice as much as it should have. But it's not too big of a deal because, Thunderbolt's probably the only thing that he can really use to hit me. And that's not going to do too much. He does have a special attack raise from Download and Life Orb, so it's kind of annoying. But, whatever. I take this opportunity to get up my Stealth Rock because it's Stealth Rock and he doesn't have a spinner, so I like to get those up right away, as pretty much everyone does. He's in on his Latios. I probably should have predicted the Surf and just switched out to Hydreigon, but whatever. I roar him out, and that damage tells me he's Scarfed, which is useful information because he is actually Scarfed this time. I didn't assume it was actually Scarf damage because specs would do like 60%, something like that. And then only did like 40. So, yeah, he switched into Silence. I'm going to switch out to Gliscor, fearing the Earthquake. I was kind of thinking of staying in and roaring him out on the Dragon Dance, but I'm glad I didn't because it turns out he's actually a mixed one with Brick Break and Fire Blast. Gliscor, going to take that Fire Blast reasonably well considering he's not Life Orb. So I'm not too worried about it, though I should have been predicting that he would be then Lumberry, but it doesn't really matter because I have no way to hurt him unless I Toxic him because I have Earthquake, Taunt, and Protect. Kind of like a Brit Score without Roost, which, in Black and White 2 I can have instead of Protect, which, I don't know, I haven't really seen anything from Black and White 2, but I'm assuming Gliscor with Poison Heal and Roost and Stealth Rock is, ridiculous. It's a physical wall. But, I don't know. So he switches into Latios. I'm going to go over the Protect, see what move he locks himself into. And going to switch out accordingly. It is Surf, of course, because my two walls can't handle it. So I'm going to switch out to Hydreigon. And that Surf's going to do, I think, 40-something damage. I believe. A little more than that. About 60. 62. So I'm Scarfed, so I'm faster than him. Well, it doesn't really matter because he's choiced anyways. And I'm just going to go for the U-turn because I figured Jirachi could come in, or Genesect, or... a bunch of different things, and I don't really want to be locking myself into a move because I am Scarfed. Him switching out helps because it tells, it doesn't let him know that he's Scarfed, but he's Scarfed anyway, so he'd be faster than me, so it wouldn't matter. Jirachi, yeah, usually defensive with leftovers, but this one's actually faster than Breloom, which shouldn't happen. It means he has, quite a bit of investment. Well, not quite a bit, but it's 16 or 20, EVs at least in speed, which is really weird for a defensive Jirachi. But anyways, it gets Thunder Wave off on me as I put him to sleep, which kind of sucks, but this Breloom's not Poison Heal anyways. It's a Tech Loom, so it doesn't really matter. Not going to stay in. Figured Latios would come back in because he resists either thing or Salamence. But he actually goes into his Deoxys defense because it's his physical wall, so why wouldn't he? I go to Hydreigon because, I'm Scarf, so either way I can... get out of there unless it goes into Latios, in which case I can switch to Heatran when he locks himself into Draco Meteor or whatever. U-turn out, does quite a bit of damage. I go right out to Scizor because I know he can't really touch me at all. He's probably not going to have Thunder Wave, and Toxic will do nothing because I'm Steel. Psychic doesn't do much. He's probably going to Stealth Rock anyways, which he does. Whatever. I'm going to U-turn, and he's going to go out to his Genesect. And, yeah, here's a bit of the, like I was talking at the beginning, Genesect versus Scizor. Ooh, it's weird. Obviously, Genesect is faster and has the super effective flamethrower and stuff, but I'm choice banded U-turning out, so that's going to do quite a bit of damage. Go out to my Hydreigon. He knows it's Scarf because it's just the way I've been playing it, so he's going to run away and go out to his Deoxys defense again, and that's fine with me. Unfortunately, I'm going for the Fire Blast because I was expecting Jirachi to come in. And, well, that, I mean, again, he's got a lot of diversity, so it's like any one move other than Dark Pulse really sucks, and I don't have Dark Pulse because I'm Scarfed. If I was Life Orb, I'd have Dark Pulse, but because I'm not Life Orb, I'm Scarfed, I have Dragon Pulse, Fire Blast, and Surf. I might change Dragon Pulse to Draco Meteor, I'm not sure. I mean, again, it's essentially a Latios, so just different type and a bit slower and weaker, but yeah. Anyways, yeah, Scizor, U-turns out from Deoxys defense, and that's obviously going to kill him after a recover because it's a choice banded stab U-turn, not just a scarf, not attack invested at all. Lower, what is it, 120, no, 115 or 120 attack on Hydreigon. Anyways, whatever. A weak U-turn versus a choice banded Scizor's U-turn. Big difference. I go to Gliscor, just going to protect, just to gain back some, not leftovers, but poison heal. And I figure he's going to predict me to switch out, but I'm going to go to Heatran anyways. It doesn't really matter. He actually goes for the Flamethrower, which is the smart move, because if it does quite a bit to a lot of things that I, would bring in, and it doesn't hit Heatran. So if he had gone for the Ice Beam, it would have done like nothing. He dies to Life Orb. Actually, not really. I thought he died to Life Orb, but he's actually going to live with a bit of health. But by going for the Flamethrower, he doesn't hit me, therefore he doesn't get Life Orb, therefore he doesn't die, or, well, he can use Thunderbolt, and then unfortunately doesn't die to Life Orb after, as I roar him out, expecting him to maybe U-turn and want to save, or just switch out flat. But, like I said, he didn't die to U-turn, or to Life Orb, so there's no reason for him to not go for Thunderbolt, and I ended up roaring him out into the thing I didn't really want to roar him out to, which is his Latios, and I'm just kind of like, ugh. But he locks himself into Draco Meteor, expecting me to maybe switch and save Heatran, but I don't care, because it's basically going to die to rocks. It may survive, but whatever. It's a slow wall. I don't need it anymore. So, excuse me. Go to Scizor. I'm going to go for the U-turn. He's going to switch to his Genesect, use it as Death Fodder, and then he goes out to his Jirachi, which is a little odd. I would have gone out to Landorus personally, but yeah. Well, I guess Landorus I would have switched out of, because I'm not going to, U-turn on a Landorus. I'll just get out. But whatever, I U-turn out on Jirachi. He has to sleep, so I know he can't wake up and do anything to me. I'm gonna go on Reuniclus. He's actually gonna switch out, fearing something or other, I guess. I'm going to go for the Calm Mind. He switches to Landorus. I'm thinking he's probably not gonna be Scarfed, so he's probably gonna be like Life Orb or whatever. So he might not have U-turn. He'll probably be like Swords Dance, whatever, blah blah blah. But he is actually just straight Scarf and U-turn. I thought he would be banded because he already has a Scarfer, but he is actually Scarfed based on that damage. He has to be Scarfed, and later you'll see he's definitely Scarfed because he's Scarfed. Sends in his Salamence. He ends up getting murdered by a Psychic. I'm not really sure why he didn't go. Well, I guess the thing is with Latios is I could have just Shadow Balled and killed basically anything, and that would have been a bad switch, but I don't have Shadow Ball. I have Focus Blast, so yeah, as most Reuniclus do for Steel types. But yeah, I mean, again, I guess I could have been an offensive one, but then I'd probably have Trick Room, not Calm Mind. I don't know. I recover, and I actually leave the U-turn because it did slightly less than half last time, and it did slightly less than half again. So that's great. So I get up a recover, get back a lot of health. Well, half of it, because that's what it is. He goes into Jirachi. I figure no real harm. If he Thunder Waves me, then not a big deal. I don't really care. And nothing's really going to do that much damage. So I recover again. He's going to stay asleep, and I'm going to hit him with a Focus Blast, a +1 that's going to kill him. I am Life Orb, not Leftovers, as you've probably seen by now, because of no Leftovers. And yeah, that kills him. I'm pretty sure that was probably around 60% or so. So anyways, goes back to Landorus, and at this point I don't care, because Scizor can just clean up with Bullet Punch, as Scizor usually does, because that's Scizor's job now that Jirachi's dead. Not that it would matter, because Jirachi would still take quite a bit from it, because he's not physically defensive. Oh, it's good base defense. But anyways, he's asleep, and it probably wouldn't matter. And again, Thunder Wave and Iron Head don't really do anything to a Scizor. He goes into his Latios. Psychic doesn't quite kill him. He actually takes quite a big risk here. I figured he'd want a Draco Meteor, but with the calm mind, he's not confident he's going to kill me, so he's going to trick and predict me to go for the cover, predicting him to go for the Draco Meteor to live and recover, and then he'll be at minus special attack and can't do anything, blah, blah, blah. If I had to just attack him, he would have looked stupid because he would have gotten no damage off of me, and etc. But it ended up working out. So I go to Breloom because, you know, it's paralyzed, and yeah, it has Mach Punch, but I don't really care. He's got a Psychic and a Flying type left, so it's not going to be doing anything against them. And, I need something to die anyway, so I figured Reuniclus. I could have just stayed in on Reuniclus, to be completely honest, but there's no point in it because he could have done whatever he wanted, like switch back to Landorus and whatever. So, you know, whatever. Let Thing die and go to Hydreigon, which is kind of stupid because, like I said, I was thinking he'd be banded, but he's actually Scarfed. And you can definitely tell here because he's going to outspeed my Scarfed Hydreigon. So, yeah, I could have, like I said, just went to Scizor, bullet punch both of them for the kill, but, you know, I guess Hydreigon has to die, and it's not a big deal. You know, he obviously can't go for Earthquake because I'm immune to it, and so is Gliscor. Doesn't really want to go to U-turn because Gliscor would just destroy him, so he has to go for Stone Edge, but still irrelevant because bullet punch. So, yeah, that's the end of the battle. It was actually a pretty cool match. I played really well. I played pretty well too. I didn't make any major mistakes really. Made some good predictions, and yeah, that's the type of OU match I like, where it's not everything's, you know, there's no weather first of all, and you know, I made some interesting stuff. So I had fun. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you all on Wednesday.